So one thing that I love about the payroll business is that if you structure it right and if you want to run a completely digital paperless company, you can totally do that with payroll. You just kind of have to make the decision up front that you're going to structure your processes that way and you're only going to bring on clients that are going to fit that business model. I remember when I first started my company, I originally was looking for Micker ink and Micker printers to be able to print checks out of my apartment that I was running my business out of, and to be able to mail those out. And the more I thought about it, the more I just realized, I don't really want to deal with that. I don't have an office. I don't really have employees. I was kind of bootstrapping it to begin with, and I don't really want to be making runs to the post office a couple times a week and dealing with the stress of that. So I just decided early on, I'm going to be completely paperless, and that's just how I'm going to run my business. And I might not get every single client, but it's probably not going to be a barrier for most clients. So to be honest, that fear never really played out. I was afraid I was going to lose out on a lot of business, that prospects were going to run away when they heard that I wasn't going to print and mail their checks. But I've only probably had a handful of clients that I haven't been able to convert because of that paperless philosophy and way of doing business. And the ones that I can think of probably wouldn't have been great fits anyway, because they were a lot more old school, kind of anti-technology. And so, even if I was printing and mailing them checks, they may not have liked some other of the aspects of how we do business technology-wise, where they're having to log in online and enter hours and things like that. So I really don't think I've lost out on many, if any, opportunities in business because of being paperless. And obviously it's afforded me the flexibility to work from anywhere, to be able to travel, to be able to have remote employees, which are huge benefits for me, and I have to have that. That's the kind of business I wanted to start and run. So the way that I position this is as a benefit to a client. When I'm selling a prospect, and the idea of, okay, how are my employees going to get paid? I always ask, first of all, are your employees all in direct deposit, or do they get checks, or is it a mixture of both? And I'm asking this on my initial sales call. I'm not waiting to broach this topic down the line, because I don't want to surprise the clients with how we do business. I want them to know up front how we do things, what we do and what we don't do. So, once I find out if they have employees that are getting paper checks, I explain to them that we're a paperless company, and I explain, how things work with us, and I really emphasize the benefit to them. So rather than saying, this is my company and this is how we do things and we're paperless and we really love it. I mean, that's all talking about me, and nobody cares about that, especially on a sales call. So what I do is I position the benefit to the client, and some of those benefits are, first of all, the fact that they're not going to have to deal with delayed shipments or lost packages. It does happen from time to time with postal services that you send checks out in an envelope, in a mailer, in a package, and it simply doesn't get there on time. Or maybe they expected it on Friday morning so they could get checks distributed to everybody, but it doesn't come until the afternoon. That's not something you have to deal with in our situation, because the client is printing the checks in-house. So as soon as we process the payroll, that PDF is available for them to pop the check stock in the printer, print them out, and distribute them at will. And usually for a Friday pay date, we're running payroll on Tuesday. So that gives them 3 days to print those at their convenience and get those out whenever it's most convenient to them. The other thing I can say sometimes is that, if you've got an employee that needs to leave, taking Friday off, or maybe they're leaving early on Friday or something like that, you don't need to worry that the checks aren't going to be there. Again, they're printed and ready to go. Another selling point is just the fact that they save money. They don't have to pay me my shipping costs, or they don't have to pay courier fees or anything like that. So that's saving them money on their processing fees. And then I just explain just how simple the process is, and that it really is not going to cost them any more time. I explain how it's a PDF, it's immediately available to them. A ton of our clients are doing this. It takes less than 5 minutes, because all you're doing is opening up the PDF, putting the check stock, the pre-printed check stock, in the printer, hitting the print button, and they print out and you're good to go. We can even print the signature on there for them so they don't have to go through and sign each check. So I try to play up, or not play up, but just explain the benefits, because I truly believe that it is better for companies to print the checks in-house, because I really do think it simplifies everything for them, and makes it a more efficient process for everybody. And obviously, this is just how I've chosen, for my own benefit and for my employees' benefit, to structure my company to be able to have the flexibility to work from anywhere, or take a vacation, or take a trip, and not needing somebody to man the printer all the time. So it's a personal decision. As the business owner, you have to decide, if that's the kind of business you want to run. If you don't, that's totally fine. If you're more traditional, you have an office, you have somebody that's always going to be there to print and mail checks, or to print a replacement check and mail that out. If you wanted to handle that and provide that as a value to your clients, I totally get it. But for me, that's not what I wanted. And so these are some of the ways that I have explained that to the client and positioned it in a way as a benefit. And like I said, I've lost really no business that I honestly wanted, because of this philosophy. So if you're scared of offering payroll and being paperless, that fear is most likely unfounded. So hopefully this is an encouragement and some good tips to help you become paperless.